Slavery in Islam. When discussing religions, we are essentially examining ethical systems that claim to be eternal and capable of providing just solutions for all times and places. But what happens when we find that some practices accepted by a religion directly contradict modern moral values? Today, slavery is considered a crime against humanity. Yet, it was an accepted practice in many ancient societies, including the Islamic world. This raises a fundamental question: if Islam is a divine religion, why did it not explicitly abolish slavery? Let's explore this subject rationally and analyze it based on religious texts and historical context, without emotional bias or preconceived notions. Slavery in the ancient world and its influence on Islam. Before the emergence of Islam, slavery was widespread in major civilizations such as ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, Greece, and Rome. Slavery was an integral part of the economic and social systems, with slaves being used for forced labor, warfare, and even sexual exploitation. When Islam emerged in the 7th century, it did not initiate a moral revolution against this system. Instead, it accepted slavery as a reality and established regulations to manage it rather than eliminate it. 2. Slavery in Hadiths and Islamic tradition. The Hadiths reveal that the Prophet Muhammad himself owned slaves, such as Zayd ibn Haritha. While he freed some of them and advised fair treatment, he did not call for the abolition of slavery. Throughout Islamic history, slavery remained widely practiced. Slave markets flourished in major cities like Baghdad, Damascus, and Cairo. The Islamic legal system provided detailed rulings on slavery, not to abolish it but to regulate it. Did Islam aim to abolish slavery? Many Muslim scholars argue that Islam laid the groundwork for a gradual abolition of slavery. However, if we examine Islamic laws, we see that they never aimed for a complete prohibition. If Islam intended to abolish slavery, why is there no clear verse forbidding it? Why did Islamic teachings permit the enslavement of prisoners of war? Why did the concept of ma malakat aymanukum, those whom your right hands possess, remain valid for centuries? In contrast, slavery was abolished in Western societies due to the rise of human rights principles, not due to religious teachings. Slavery in Islamic history. From the era of the caliphs to the Ottoman Empire, the Islamic world continued to practice slavery. Slaves were traded in markets, worked in households and fields, and served in armies. Even the rulers themselves owned thousands of concubines. It was not until the 19th and 20th centuries, under Western pressure, that slavery was officially abolished in many Muslim-majority countries. The moral contradiction: why didn't Islam prohibit slavery? If Islam claims to be a superior ethical system, why did it not take a clear stance against slavery? Some argue that slavery was too embedded in society to be immediately abolished, but this excuse is weak. If a religion is truly divine, shouldn't it provide moral guidance beyond its historical context? If Islam was meant to be a timeless and universal message, why did it fail to outlaw such a fundamental moral wrong? Why is it that modern secular values, rather than religious teachings, led to the end of slavery? From this discussion, we see that Islam did not revolutionize the institution of slavery. Instead, it accommodated it within a legal framework. There was no outright prohibition, and the system remained in place for centuries. Today, as we uphold values of equality and human dignity, it becomes increasingly difficult to justify religious doctrines that allowed slavery. This raises a fundamental question: can a religion truly be eternal and applicable to all times if it failed to establish ethical principles that transcend its historical context? I leave you with this thought. If you found this discussion interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your opinions in the comments. See you in the next video.